I remember when we saw him at South by Southwest, and I was just like, dude, like you could put him in a leprechaun outfit, and no one would bat an eye. He'd be like, "Oh, I saw a leprechaun today." He even kind of looks like a leprechaun. He looks super Irish. Hey, welcome to User Friendly, the podcast where we talk about technology and our favorite stuff on the web. I'm your co-host, Erfan Elijah. I'm a writer for Cultamac.com and the founder of Mike Tees, a cool little Seattle indie brand. I'm here with my friend
Roberto Hoyos from Throwboy.com. We make geeky throw pillows. Did you know that?
You do.
Yeah.
And I did know that, yeah. And dolls, too.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Soon to be, anyway.
They're very high profile.
High profile dolls, that's true.
So, welcome to User Friendly episode 27, everybody.
Oh, yeah, episode 27. Wow.
Thank you for watching. If we picked you up from this guy's show, welcome back.
Yes. Hello, fellow Cultcast listeners.
And how are you this week?
I'm good.
Today.
I am good today. This week's been a little slow, not quite as busy as I normally am.
Yeah.
And it's been nice. What about you?
Good. It's been kind of like, I don't know. I've had a bunch of like scattery projects all this week. So I'm like, when I get back to Wednesday, it's like back to square one, can talk about what I've been up to and have some fun for a few hours. So,
you were on Cultcast last week.
How
was that? How did
that
you
was
like
fun.
It? Yeah?
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
You bet.
I was on the show. It was fun. I liked it. It was just a kind of, normal discussion about Apple stuff.
Mm-hmm. We have a good old time on the Cultcast.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
One of my favorite shows, so I was already a fan, not just because I know you, I actually really do like the show. And
me too.
And I was just like, oh, you actually want me on the show? Because then...
you guys want me?
Yeah, because I was just like, I always feel like I would be the dumbest guy in the room in that sort of crowd.
Well, as long as I'm there, you never have to worry about it.
So, luckily, the really high-profile writers weren't on the show,
right?
Because there's like John Brownlee or something like
right.
that, where they can spout off facts about things that upcoming things. I'm pretty good at Apple history and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can kind of do some what do they call it, markers. In between,
right.
of oh yeah, well that makes sense because they used to do that or whatever,
right?
Right. But other than that, I'm so I don't know. I keep up a little bit with new Apple stuff, but not as much.
Yeah, and there's so much new Apple stuff. And in fact, today we have Mountain Lion being released.
Yeah, today is the 25th, and this morning it got released. And
I've already downloaded it. I was gonna install it, but you were coming over.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't really do that.
And I was going to download some torrents.
Because I'm actually going to do a fresh install.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to just do an upgrade. And as you know, doing a fresh install requires so much more work. I have to reinstall all my applications. And It's tricky, right? Because there's data that I want to be there that I want to save, like all my mail and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But... when you do a fresh install, you have to migrate everything over manually instead of doing it, through the migration assistant.
Right, yeah.
So it just takes a lot of work. And I need to make sure that my computer's in working order for tomorrow's Cultcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I have to be careful.
Dude.
But it's easy now that I have 2 drives in my computer. So I finally installed my secondary hard drive. I took out the DVD drive.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have a backup version, a bootable backup of my system as it is.
Oh, yeah. So how did that go? Because we talked about that last week, I think.
Oh, right. So I installed it, and it was a little trickier than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
The directions that I got from OWC, which is where I got my data doubler drive bracket from, weren't quite as clear as I would have hoped, and specifically they gave me a bunch of extra screws,
right? Yeah,
and they didn't tell me where to use those screws.
Oh, okay.
So I had a bunch of extra screws, and I was like, well, am I going to be using these somewhere? I'm not really sure. Mm-hmm. And there were several instances when I was installing the drive where the screws just didn't fit.
Oh, really?
And they have you screw things back in a different order than you unscrew them. So I had everything laid out so I could just reverse the process. Yeah. And then I was like, wait, they're not having me reverse the process.
So were you reading the manual or are you watching the video?
No, I did the video.
Oh, I watched the video and it went fine for me. Maybe I took a little bit of liberties on what orders I did things in because
Knowing you probably did.
I
Yeah.
was just like, that makes more sense. I'll just do it that
this.
way. Oh, 5 extra screws, that's okay.
But I saved all the extra screws I had at the end in the bag. And I think the bracket requires that you use different screws that are in your Apple when
that's
you start.
that's what it does. Yeah, because you'll be left over with certain screws that only worked with the optical drive,
right?
And they don't actually tell you to get rid of those,
right?
So
yeah.
you're like, wait, do I just use those again or what?
So
I ended up using pretty much everything in the little baggies.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, I think I don't remember.
That probably would have been the way to go
after that, so I don't know.
Yeah. So in any case, I got it connected, and now it's working great.
Good.
And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the backup drive yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to, use it as like a time machine disk, or if I'm just going to use it to store, data that I don't need to access very often.
Right.
But I accidentally, after I did my backup to the drive, I accidentally booted off of it, the mechanical hard drive, and oh my gosh.
So much slower, right?
So much slower.
I did the same exact thing for this just to see how, the comparison before I wiped it,
Right.
But yeah, I have some questions for you regarding this since you're going to do fresh install. So let's get into the Mountain Lion
Sure,
discussion.
yeah, let's do it.
All right, as we both take drinks. The Mountain Lion, so you're going to be downloading it, doing completely fresh install.
Yep, I already downloaded it. Yep. It's only $20
$20 on the App Store.
Yep.
And that you have to have at least probably Snow Leopard to do that.
That's a good
Probably.
question.
That's
I'm
probably
actually
their
not
last
sure about
version.
that. That would be my guess. Yeah.
And so are you worried about any sort of stuff not working, like Skype or anything? Because you're going to be using Skype heavily.
I would be if I didn't have a backup.
So you're going to keep one as Lion?
Yes. I'll keep one as Lion just in case. I mean, because you never really know. And I guarantee you there's going to be apps that don't work. But the good thing is that the architecture of Snow Leopard was very different than the architecture of Lion. It was a much different update because you're going from one operating system to the other. This is more of an evolutionary update, so it's like when Leopard became Snow Leopard. Actually, that's not even really true because Snow Leopard was quite different than Leopard.
Yeah.
But a lot of your stuff that's working now should still work. I think it's more like, hey, we're fixing a bunch of stuff and we're adding a bunch of new features.
Is that what it is? So it's like a Snow Leopard upgrade?
I'd say it's more like going from Snow Leopard to Lion, honestly.
Yeah.
Because there's so many new features being added.
Yeah, that's the thing is like Snow Leopard was like, oh, okay, we need to refresh this a little bit.
Well, Snow Leopard was a major re-architecturing
Yeah.
of Leopard. So, I mean, a lot of stuff that worked with Leopard did not work with Snow Leopard because it was so different. I think Snow Leopard and Lion were actually more similar than Leopard and Snow Leopard were. So,
what are you most excited about?
oh man, I've heard a lot of people say they're bored by this update. I am not. I'm really excited.
I'm excited for certain
There's
stuff.
a lot of great features coming. And I think first and foremost for me is messages for Mac. I've been using the messages beta, which some of my Twitter followers have been joking was alpha, and I think I agree because it just didn't really work very well at all.
Mine's okay now, but yeah, I remember when it was like a little wonky.
Yeah, and it's still wonky. I mean, like messages don't sync across devices. I have so many problems with it. So now it's supposed to be rock solid. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to give Safari a spin. They are adding a bunch of new features to Safari. First and foremost that I'm most excited about is tabs in the cloud. So one of my big problems is I'm reading something on my iPad and then I'm reading it on my computer, and there's no way to get those URLs, to sync. I mean, I guess you could add to your reading list and do things that way.
Right.
But now you're going to be able to go to your Safari on your Mac, and you can open up all the tabs that are open on your iPad.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That seems like sort of I don't know, something that should be around,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like we've had these bookmarking websites for, ages and stuff, and we have the ability to download manually our bookmarks to other computers, but that's like, who's going to do that for this?
That's like
so
caveman crap.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, yeah, that's cool. I'm really excited, even though I don't freaking have one, I'm excited for AirPlay. System-wide. That's super cool.
Yes, that is very cool. I still have some questions about that. I don't know how many features you're going to be able to use regarding AirPlay.
Well, from what I understand, the AirPlay little triangle icon is going to be in your menu bar. And you can actually just click it, see your Apple TV, and instantly mirror over here.
But can you do it to like AirPlay speakers? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
You can. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you formerly needed to
have
install
to have Apple TV to do the video part.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You formerly needed to have Airfoil, which is an application that would route your audio to different places. So, and Airfoil, for whatever reason, on my computer, always ate up a lot of CPU.
Yeah.
Plus, it's $25.
And it supposedly did video, but it would do it so out of sync, you know? And so I guess, I forgot who I was talking to, but they were like, no, this one is, like, so it's built into the system, so it's basically set up to do that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I do stuff, you know, I watch certain web series that are only in Flash on my computer. And for right now, I have to take an HDMI out and then plug it right into the back of my TV. Do
you have to use an adapter?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, that doesn't have HDMI.
No, I use the little like mini display / Thunderbolt, whatever you want to call it, to the back of my HDMI on my TV. And that's like that's my little workaround to watch certain shows that are just streaming in Flash.
Right.
But supposedly you can just stream anything on the screen. And then you can just pop it onto your TV. But you do have to buy a $99 box, which is the Apple TV.
Yeah, I don't really mind that at all. And you have a 2011 machine, right? Or is this 2012?
11.
It has to be 2011, right? So you can actually do AirPlay mirroring too.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant just sending video to your Apple TV.
Oh, no.
Gotcha.
I thought it's the same. I thought you could do both.
You can do both. Yeah. I can't actually do AirPlay mirroring, so...
Oh, what's the limitation on it?
It has to be a 2011 or newer MacBook Pro.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. See, I didn't know all the tech limitations on that yet.
So that was actually something that a lot of people were kind of pissed off about. Like they're bringing AirPlay mirroring, which is a feature that people have wanted for a long time.
Yeah.
And it really only works if you have a newer machine.
I would assume that there's some actual technical drawbacks. Because, I mean, limitations, like physical limitations to making it work like that, because we've seen Airfoil try to do it and it sucked. Do you remember trying?
I never tried to do video.
I tried to do video and it was just garbage.
Not good.
Yeah.
And I know you're pretty excited about Game Center.
Oh yeah, man! I want to rack up the points on my doodle jump. Booyah!
So there's a lot of, new features coming. A lot of smaller stuff too that we're going to be finding out about as we get to start to use it. First and foremost, one of the things I found out about today was now Time Machine lets you back up to multiple disks. So you could always do this. Cool. You could always do this, but it was a manual process. And now you just add all your disks to Time Machine, and it will keep your backups synced across all of them. So you have multiple backup sets, which is very, very smart to do.
And you have a time capsule?
I don't have a time capsule. I just have the Apple Airport Extreme.
Oh, okay.
So, you can plug a hard drive into and turn it into a time capsule. I think the biggest thing about this update is iCloud integration.
Yeah, documents in the cloud.
Documents in the cloud, notes in the cloud, that's not what they're calling it. Reminders in the cloud. Like, everything is going to become synced across all your devices much better.
We'll see how that works when it rolls out.
Yeah, we will. But at least you're getting your own reminders app in Mountain Lion, which I think has been sorely missing for at least a couple of years, especially because you can do it in iCal and it never really works right. So I really hope they fixed it.
But dude, you were using your Clear app. Isn't that your new favorite app?
That's so funny because I was thinking about
How long
Clear.
ago have you used that?
The last time you and I looked at it was the last time I used it.
Knew it. Called that.
I knew I wasn't going to use it.
You were like, this is my new favorite to-do app.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I feel like I always knew I wasn't actually going to use it.
There's all these hyped up apps like TechCrunch writes about, and everybody,
but see, I feel like I knew that even at the time.
It.
I still think it's an awesome app, but it's too basic. I mean, it's just like I at the very least I need my to-do apps to sync in the cloud.
Sure. Yeah.
So I can put to-dos in on my computer and have them show up on my phone. I'm one of those guys that doesn't like to do data entry on my phone.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. I think it's slow and cumbersome.
Oh, I'm the same way. I was walking out the door to come here, and I was like, oh, I better remember that. I'm going to put that in Evernote. And then the first thing that pops into my head is like, oh, that's such a long process. Like, you have to open it up, wait for it to launch. I'm still walking, then I have to click on what I want or find what I want. Then I have to. You can't just start typing on stupid Evernote. You have to hit the little pen tool. Then you click where you want to start typing, and I'm like,
it's a hassle.
I would much rather just have it, on my computer, which is really the fundamental flaw of any other to-do app that tries to be like, will sync with your desktop app, because they'll be like, well, you got to buy our desktop app, and then we'll sync with it, but it only syncs over Wi-Fi, and it's just like all of that stuff really is going to go away as far as like people's go-to, because if Apple's building it into their system and it's in the cloud, no more. Like, why would you ever want to have like any to-do app on your Mac that you have to sync over Wi-Fi ever again?
Right, yeah. I mean, I use Wunderlist, and that syncs via the cloud, but it's not reliable. I mean, I enter in stuff all the time, and you have to refresh it on your phone, and then it doesn't show up on your phone, and then you have to back out and go back in the list and refresh it again, and then, there, it popped up, and then sometimes it just doesn't pop up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff, it's nice that Apple's going to build it in, because hopefully it will just work.
Yeah.
One last thing, we could keep talking about this for a while. One last thing about Mountain Lion is Notification Center.
Yeah.
Finally, I've been waiting for something like this for the longest time, because if you've used notifications on your Mac, you've probably been using Growl.
Right.
And Growl was great. I mean, it was just like a little third-party app that interacted with all these other apps that gave you notifications. But then Growl used to be an open source project, and then it became a for-profit project.
And it sucked after that.
And it got terrible. I don't usually leave reviews on iTunes, but I left them a 1-star review, and I was just like, what happened? Like, this app used to be so great, and it just doesn't even work anymore.
They missed an opportunity to sell to Apple. That's what they should have done.
Man.
Because they just ripped it 100%.
They did. I mean, they just went right into the cockpit, and they went, and crashed it right into the mountain. It was awful.
Into the mountain lion.
Now the mountain lion eats it.
What was I going to say? I wonder if it's going to start pushing us into using the Twitter app or I don't know, like just using Facebook updates through Notification Center. Like, do you think they're going to start doing your posts via just your desktop?
I think we're going to start seeing that all the time. Because another one of the big features coming in Mountain Lion is just native, for lack of a better word, shareability. Like, they baked sharing into the operating system. So you can share from everywhere. You can share links, you can share images, you can share anything you want, and it goes right to Facebook and Twitter. Now, Facebook integration actually isn't going to be present when you install it. I don't think that's coming till fall for whatever reason. Twitter is.
I was looking really close here because I saw the little Facebook icon, but they're not really touting it. They're just, if you zoom in super close.
Oh, there it is.
You can see a little F.
There he is. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that too, but it's not going to be there right away. And so when are you going to install this?
Probably.
You gonna wait a year?
Maybe I'll just see what happens with the first week or something like that.
That's been a very similar sentiment that I've heard from other people.
It's not that I think that it's going to just crash and burn. I just think that the servers are getting pounded right now, and I don't feel like waiting forever to use my computer today. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I don't really have. I'm usually pretty up to date with when things come out. So probably just next week I'll have it on my computer. I remember last year we were at VidCon, and you were totally like, I'm not gonna update to Snow Leopard, blah blah blah, or Lion. I don't remember. It might have been Lion. Was it Lion? Last time I don't remember.
I think it was Snow Leopard when we were talking about.
And we were like, it was the first one that was downloadable on the App Store, and I just remember you were like, I need to do so much work on my computer. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then, like, the next time I talk to you, you're like, yeah, I have it. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, I meant I was going to do it right away, and I probably didn't. I mean, if you're using your machine for work, I use my Mac for work every day. And if all of a sudden I'm spending all my time getting it set up and I don't have the apps I need, it's like, that's a major problem. Like, you shouldn't be upgrading. Leander,
he
editor,
upgrades all of them,
owner
right?
of Cultimac. Yeah, we were having a conversation about an OS when it came out. Dude, that guy just runs and guns. He's just like, yeah, I installed it. He's like, my computer's broken now.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you use that machine for work. He's like, yeah, I just got overzealous. He's like, I always think that I shouldn't do it, and then I just go ahead and do it. I just pulled the trigger.
He's the quintessential cult
He
person.
is, dude. He just does it. As soon as it's out, he like resists for 90 seconds max. And he's like, go ahead, mate. Let's do it. Crumpets.
You haven't done it yet?
No.
All right.
So funny.
Well, yeah,
So,
let me know how it goes, man.
I will.
Tell me how Notification Center is. Or not tell me how Game Center is.
I'm all about that Game Center. It's pretty much why I'm upgrading.
Isn't there some feature now where you can play people like the same game on the Mac as you can play on the phone or something like that?
I'm not sure.
People know that. People are yelling at the screen. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the Cult of Mac writers have been using the beta version for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been, I don't mind using beta features, but I kind of like using a polished product.
So do I. I hate when I see people like, oh yeah, I got a hold of the beta from a friend who knows somebody at Apple or whatever, and then they start tweeting about how bad it sucks. And I'm like, you're on a freaking beta. Like, shut up. That's why.
And the Messages beta was really bad. I mean, it was really buggy.
Or like people that have like the gold master of iOS already, and they say that it's crappy. I'm like, yeah, it's not out. Like that's why it sucks.
Right, exactly.
But anyway.
And plus, it's kind of cool because then, I mean, I kind of get to go through the discovery process with a lot of our Cultcast listeners.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm sure I know about a lot more features than they do already just because I work with so many people who are writing about it all the time and I read a lot about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, when you're using your machine for work every day, it's like that's not the machine you want to have a beta running on, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention, I have like photo apps, I have Photoshop and stuff. It's like I need to use those applications.
Right.
They have to work. Like I'm a little concerned that my Lightroom 4 isn't going to work. I'm a little concerned that my Photoshop CS5 isn't going to work.
Not concerned enough to not upgrade.
Well, that's why I have a backup. Honestly. And plus, it's like I want to be able to speak intelligently about this stuff when we do the show.
That's true.
So, I kind of need to upgrade, but yeah, if I didn't have a backup, I'd be a lot more worried.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a bootable backup,
there's
I'd
a lot of
more worried.
and it just it turned out that you were swapping drives anyway, so it was good timing.
Yeah, it was, and I actually planned it this way. I was like, I'm gonna go with the SSD. I'm just gonna dump everything on there just as is, and then when Snow Leopard comes out, or Snow Leopard,
Snow Lion,
when Snow Mountain Lion comes out. I'm going to go ahead and do a fresh install because it's been 2.5 years since I've done a fresh install, maybe longer actually. No, it's been longer because I upgraded Snow Leopard to Lion. So my computer is not running as fast as it could be.
I see.
Dude, what are you searching for?
Anytime I think of Mountain Lion, I always think of that lion from Looney Tunes. That's
funny because...
Really?
Oh, wait, never mind. I was thinking of the Warner. Is it the Warner?
Whoa, sorry.
Jeez.
Play it. I need to find his voice.
I thought you were talking about, is it the MGM Grandland?
No.
You're thinking about that, dude?
Yeah. Nobody else thinks of this mountain lion from Looney Tunes.
King of all he surveyed, a roar like the voice of doom.
But this one, he doesn't talk in it. Anyway.
I actually could have liked that. Maybe I'll start the Cultcast with that audio.
Oh, that's a good idea. The mountain lion. Yeah. Anyway, so...
Cool. Let's move on.
All right.
We want to talk about... Don't roll your eyes, okay? We want to talk about...
One of Irfan's best expertise thing he's best good at and talks about all the time.
I am best good at this, for sure. The Dark Knight. Okay, so I know it came out last weekend. Actually, a lot of you probably haven't even seen it yet. Depending on what country you live in, you may not have been able to see it right away.
Yeah.
So we saw it.
There will be spoilers.
Should we do spoilers, or should we try to talk
I
about
might.
spoilers?
I don't. I mean, you've had a whole week, so if you're into nerdy stuff and you haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so there might be spoilers.
Tough.
There might be spoilers. I don't really think anything I'm going to say is going to be a spoiler. I don't think we're going to give away the ending.
I don't think we're going to talk about it that long.
It's going to be at least a 20-minute conversation. So we saw it together.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about it at all after it was over. And for me, it was with intention. I didn't mention anything. I really wanted to. And then when we walked out of the theater, we were all just like, okay, bye. We just left.
Oh, well,
so what was your opinion of the movie?
I liked it. I don't know. I like the Christopher Nolan Batman.
Yep.
Overall series. I was watching not too long ago Batman Begins just because I haven't seen it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I saw Dark Knight on opening day in '08, and I loved it. I thought it was so good. And I've been a Batman fan for since I was little. I used to watch the Tim Burton ones all the time, like all the time. I could quote those like retardedly, like every line of those movies. And so this one I went in, I was really excited. I really didn't want to know anything about it, and I was like
Me either. I really didn't know anything about it.
I was trying to avoid Twitter, and I was like
Yeah.
taking off my glasses if I had to like do stuff, because I was like, that's
Were you really?
that's my technical way of like sort of seeing what's on the screen but still blurred.
Right?
So if I see the word bat or something,
You
I'm
just
like scroll. But anyway, I thought it was good. Since seeing it, I've thought about it a little bit more. Like there was some like little flaws, but I wasn't like holy crap the way I was at Dark Knight Rises. I was like, it was good, and I didn't feel slow or anything. I thought it was cool, and I can remember some cool moments of it. There were some little plot holes in there too that were just a little like meh, but I would watch it again probably. I thought it was cool. I didn't like it as much as I liked Avengers.
Oh, I never saw Avengers.
What, you're not a comic book guy? I thought you were really
No,
into
I
comic
am.
book
I
movies.
really am, but they weren't true to the comic book, so I decided to boycott it.
How was Spider-Man?
Spider-Man's wonderful. Wonderful. I'm a huge Peter Parker guy. I've been describing it this way. I am in like with it. I'm not in love with it.
Yeah.
And this is a opinion I feel like I've heard a lot of other people have. It was missing a little something. I actually, unlike you, I actually thought the first 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, were slow. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there, and I think a big problem, and we talked about this a little bit, was for whatever reason, I'm not sure if it was a theater we were in, but I could not understand the audio. Like, especially when Bane would talk, I would hear the first two words, he'd be like, hello, and that's exactly what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
And I was straining. I was like churning my head so I could focus on the audio.
Yeah.
Because I could not understand a single thing he said. Like, I don't know anything that he said.
Yeah, it's so funny because like they had to change that voice. Like,
Right, they had to redo his audio entirely,
like
right?
I guess they did a, like maybe a closed screening and found out that everyone couldn't understand
No one could
it.
understand him.
And then they came up with that. So I was like...
So I don't know
Yeah.
if that was part of the problem. I think that it was, because his voice is like digitized in some way.
It was like...
That's exactly what it sounded
He
like.
sounded like Sean Connery with a tennis ball in his mouth.
That's pretty much what
And
it
then
sounded
Batman's
like.
like,
And then Batman's like, is he a bad guy? I'm not sure, because he's not. I can't understand what he's saying. But it was a good movie, and I think more than anything else, I'm just like, it's amazing, how far technology has come in CG.
Yeah.
Because like the bat bike,
Yeah.
like the bat wing or whatever you want to call it, like that stuff looked real. I mean, you cannot tell that it is CG. I don't even know if it is CG.
Yeah, I know. Like, you would think, because you're like, well, is that a stunt guy on that crazy bike that has the wheels that spin the other
Right,
way? You know?
yeah.
And it was always so, like, awesome eye candy for all the gadgets and stuff. It was just like, oh, that was so cool, you know?
It really is. It's so well shot, too.
Oh, yeah. And that's how I felt when... Did you see Dark Knight?
Oh, yeah.
When he's riding the bike and he goes up the wall and it quickly turns around.
Yeah.
That was like totally a theater moment where everyone's like, whoa! Yeah.
I feel like, just movie-wise, The Dark Knight has a much... The Dark Knight is darker. It has a more sound plot, I think. Like, you mentioned plot holes. There are plot holes in The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, I was watching it, and sometimes things would happen, and I'm like... What? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
But I still think that the spectacle of the movie is so large, and for the most part, it is so well written that you're kind of willing to like forgive all that stuff. It's got a great ending. I think the last 20 minutes of the movie make up for the previous 2 hours and 20 minutes of the movie, because the last 20 minutes are really exciting, really good. and do a good job of wrapping everything up in the movie. And there are some
Yeah.
major twists that I never saw coming.
Right, yeah. And being somebody, I mean, the two of us, we didn't read the stuff that it's based off of, and we both liked it as just a good movie.
Yeah, because I am not a comic book guy at all. I've tried. I don't like comic books. I mean, I love the artwork in comic books, but I just don't like reading comic books. And I never grew up thinking Spider-Man was cool or Batman was cool or really any other superhero was cool. But the Batman movies, I would say, out of all the superheroes that are out there, are probably my favorite.
But you like fantasy and stuff.
I love fantasy.
So you can. So that's something I like about hearing your opinion, because I'm like, a lot of people are like, I never liked comic books, blah blah blah. Then that means for the most part that they don't even like fantasy. So that means they
really,
go.
You think that's true?
Sometimes, and they go to a fantasy movie and pick it apart why it couldn't happen, and you're like,
right.
If you want to watch real shit, watch a documentary. Don't come to fantasy movies
and
be like, oh, there's no such thing as elves,
Right.
There's people that do that.
That's funny,
and it's
because
really obnoxious.
Yeah, if you don't like a fantasy movie, you definitely shouldn't be critiquing a superhero. Or I should say, if you don't like fantasy, you shouldn't be critiquing superhero stuff at all.
Yeah.
I loved fantasy stuff growing up, especially. I would read, the Dragonlance series. Do you remember those?
Vaguely.
They're about mages and wizards, and that was really kind of my first introduction into that whole world, and I love that stuff. I could watch fantasy movies all day long. I love the Lord of the Rings series. I'm really, really, really into Game of Thrones right now, even though the season just ended. The show, not the books.
The interesting thing about some of these newer comic book movies, especially I would say the Marvel, Batman too, the ones that don't have a superpower, so sometimes they don't have a superpower, and they're rooted in science, like Iron Man and Batman, they're rooted in science fiction more stuff. Those are really interesting because they're like, wow, yeah, it is fantasy, but they're making it feel like, oh, that could actually exist in some way, because of technology. And those are really cool to me, like Iron Man or Batman's gadgets and stuff like that,
Can I just talk about two fights that happened in the movie that I just did not understand? Remember the first time? Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Mute it now. We'll tell you. We'll wave when you can unmute it. So Batman and Bane have that first fight, right?
Yeah.
And actually, let me back up a moment. So Catwoman betrays Batman.
Yeah.
Takes him to Bane.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they have that first fight, and Batman just gets destroyed. He has no chance. He's punching Bane, and Bane's doesn't even care. And then you fast forward, and he comes back from wherever he was, and it's he goes to Catwoman. He's like, "Oh, hey, don't worry about that part where you betrayed me to the death."
Yeah.
Just don't even. They have a 10-second discussion about it, and she's like, "Sorry," and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, everything's cool." I'm like, "What?"
And let's be allies.
Yeah, let's be allies. I'm gonna trust you now. It's really, come on. And then he has that last fight with Bane, and it's Bane can't even land a punch. All of a sudden, he's just and I'm like, what happened? All of a sudden, Batman just got his groove back.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was just like, this doesn't make any sense to me. What just happened here?
I didn't also, it was kind of weird how it was a twist ending with the girl. Right. But, I mean, nobody really wants to see some villain you never heard of be the main villain, That's kind of annoying when it's just it's building up to that, and it's oh, who would you rather see, Bane be the main villain, or this person I've never heard of be the main villain, that I can't remember her name,
Yeah, right.
So, some of that was a little bit, but I don't know. There was a few plot holes that were annoying, but overall I thought it was a good wrap, and it felt like it was all from the same world really well,
That is true. The trilogy, it grew into a trilogy where you started recognizing things that were happening in the previous movies were being addressed in the last movie.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. For me, always when I've seen any of those. Batman Begins, Dark Knight, they're very dialogue heavy, so it's kind of sometimes you have to rewatch it to know what's going on with this plot and stuff like that, because it's very much like a detective show, that kind of thing. So I mean, I don't know, I probably would end up going again.
That's so funny. every person I have talked to about this movie, including myself, have all said the same thing. I need to see this again.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully it doesn't turn into Star Wars. We're
episode 1.
Do I need to see this again because it was so bad?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it was bad. What just happened?
Well,
no,
see,
it's not like that.
It had you could tell it was well written, but it was like they don't do a lot of like exposition type stuff where they're like, okay, so we got to tell you what's going on. They just kind of put you in the situation.
Yeah,
you know?
and the story is very dense. Like,
Yeah.
I think I need to see it one, maybe even 2 more times before I fully understand what's going on. There were some pieces at the very beginning that I'm like, I do not understand at all why those things were even in there. And of course, it didn't help that I couldn't understand what half the people were saying.
Yeah. For me, this I guess summer, as far as comic book Avengers, hands down for me.
I need to see that.
Hands down. But anyway, yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay. Here. Alrighty. So I found this. I subscribe to the Indiegogo newsletter. Somehow, I think it's because I donated a long time ago.
I totally forgot we were even going to talk about this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and so you get a bunch of this barrage of random Indiegogo, you know, what do you call it, fundraiser type things, right? And I got one that I thought was interesting, so I just bookmarked it, but I didn't actually watch it until just a few minutes ago. It's called The Yellow Jacket, and it's an iPhone case, but it's also a stun gun.
Right, because that's a good idea.
It can actually shock you, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to get that. You have to get that for a review.
I need to review this.
Test
apparently.
it out on some cats or something like that. Okay, so they have, like every Indiegogo, they have their well shots video. So I thought we could watch a little bit of it.
Yeah, let's watch part of it.
Preface what we're going to say. Should I hold it up or should we do that?
You know what? Why don't you just
sit here?
Give me a sec here. I'll boot up the old camera.
Okay.
And can you turn it more towards me though, so the reflection is gone?
Yeah. I guess I could embed
it's
this
recording
like a professional, but I won't.
You could do that, but then it would ruin the aesthetic of our show.
Can
you turn it up a little bit?
What's up? Was he sawing down his door? There's lights on, but no one's home.
Who's there? Oh
Don't move.
Break yourself!
no! Don't break me!
Did he say, where's the wine?
This wasn't how I planned to spend my Friday night last summer. In fact, this
Really?
moment changed my
No,
life
you weren't
forever.
planning that?
Violent crimes are defined as one of 4
He looks like
offenses:
he's laughing
robbery,
about it.
assault, rape, and murder.
I was
The
all
FBI
for those things
estimates
that
in
night.
2011, approximately 1.3 million
But the doctors brought me
Americans
back.
were victims of violent crime. Further research
No.
also shows that approximately 13% of women living in the United States will be physically attacked at some point in their lifetime.
Nice.
Violent crimes leave a victim traumatized.
I like
and
how he-
cost much
how he
unnecessary
spends the first
time and money to replace these
2 minutes of the
damages incurred.
video instilling fear in you.
I spent
Yeah.
the next few weeks getting my life back in order. Back to the point it was in before the robbery.
My
I
beehole
thought of all
healed.
the things I could have done differently to prevent myself from becoming a victim. I thought of
But
the
I
firearm I
digress.
had upstairs, which in the moment did nothing to protect me.
I had a
I thought of
sawed-off
the
shotgun
Yeah, if only I
upstairs.
had my
served
sawed-off
the purpose of
shotgun
the
with
phone,
me.
and I never carried it around. I thought of my phone case itself that the robber had left behind on his way out. And that's when the idea came to me. At first, it seemed all too simple. Why not take the most common device a person carries, their smartphone, and combine it with a protective element?
Why did he have all
Every other
those?
phone case on the market provides protection for only the phone.
It looked like we were in a
Our
hospital
phone
for a
case
second
provides
there.
protection for both your phone and you. My name is Seth Froome, and I'm the co-founder and inventor of Yellow Jacket. My story is one of triumph,
Welcome to
not
Shark
tragedy.
Tank.
And because of it, we have
And I bought my
designed,
shades at an
prototyped,
army
and
surplus
patented
store.
the Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket is a 650,000 volt stun gun
Oh, at that
conveniently
dollar.
concealed inside a smartphone.
Convenient. Yep, that's
Effective Yellow
convenient. Look how
Jacket
thick
will
that
loud,
thing is.
painful, and disorienting.
It only
It
makes your
features a
iPhone
safety
3
switch
times
with
as
safety
thick.
cover for the electrodes, intended to prevent an accidental
Are you
discharge.
kidding me?
It has its own external battery capable of powering your smartphone device
With a
for up
big
to
old
20 additional
yellow jacket
hours.
on it.
Yellow Jacket is a practical, convenient self-defense tool for
Oh
all
god,
sorts
what's
of
gonna
people.
happen here?
For example, let's say you're a college student out one night with some friends. After the night ends, you're dropped off at your car. An assailant approaches you. You may have pepper spray.
Good
or
thing you're
stun
using
gun located in your
Facebook.
purse or on
Yeah.
your keychain, but in the heat of the moment, it does nothing to protect you.
Like
Story is the same
this.
for the young guy violently confronted at a bar, or the middle-aged woman preoccupied mom leaving the grocery store alone at night. All these people
Dude, these
had
stock
nothing.
images
Yeah.
are
When it
perfect.
mattered most, they had no
He
immediate
deserved it.
convenient means of protection. We developed the Yellow Jacket to be able to take down a fully grown, aggressive adult male.
Like this, like so. Some guy walks by.
Ah!
Doesn't hurt that much.
They come in 4 great colors.
Black, white, and pink. We invented this product to prevent people
This
from
video.
experiencing the pain like
Alright,
Seth
dude,
and
that's
so
enough
many
of this.
before him
I
have
don't know.
Is it
experienced.
almost over?
My name's Sean Simone, and I'm the other co-founder of Yellow.
It just gets funnier.
And I'm the other co-founder.
I was able to
I know I'm
clearly
only
see
in the last
pain
10 seconds of the
he
video.
experienced that could have been prevented. Our passion is to take this device and put it in the hands of as many people as
I hope
possible.
it ends
Keeping both you
with one of
and your
those
device
videos where
out
they're
of
both
harm's
standing
way.
still
idea for
and the
Yellow
world
Jacket
is
came
rushing
from a
around
traumatic
them.
event. Now we turn that thought into a reality. It's been a wild ride, but we wouldn't trade
Yeah, it has been.
We're so close to launching
Good
our
point,
product
bud.
nationally, and now we need your help. This product will retail for $125, but with the help of our first customers, you can pre-order your very own Yellow Jacket for $100
It's
today.
such a great idea. We have zero
Help
investors.
us reach our goal on indiegogo to release this product nationally and create a safer tomorrow. Thank you and stay safe.
Safe for tomorrow.
Oh boy. Well, Airphone, I would like to know what you think.
I'm gonna try and do this without being mean.
We're so good at Indiegogo Kickstarters. We're just like, anyway.
I just,
This is our new favorite segment.
yeah. Indiegogo fails. The idea of turning your iPhone into a stun gun just seems absolutely unnecessary and dangerous to your ball sack. Because I guarantee you're gonna have this thing in your pocket and you're gonna accidentally stun your balls. And the fact, like the premise, these guys are basically, the premise of this idea is you have your phone with you all the time, so that's gonna mean that you're safer because you always have a stun gun with you.
Right.
It's just like having a shotgun upstairs, like this guy did in his house. It's like, if you're getting mugged, are you gonna be like, boop,
Yeah.
and put your hand in your pocket and grab your phone? It's like, no.
No.
You're not gonna get your hand in your pocket. It's not gonna help you at all.
Did he really want to, like, I don't know, is that, you really want to go, like, confront somebody if they have a gun on you? Do you really want to, like, try to bust out
Or a
your,
knife?
your martial arts or something,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's like, to me, it just seems way smarter just to give them what they want.
Give them what
and
they
move
want.
on.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, but I think my biggest issue is with the fact that it makes your iPhone like 3 times as big.
Yeah.
That he has a giant brick of a device that you're supposed to slide on your iPhone, and he calls it convenient.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not really that convenient, and
They're trying to be like the news, though. They're trying to push fear more than
yeah,
anything. You
like
know?
in the beginning of the video was kind of fear mongering to me. It's like you're going to be raped and murdered in your lifetime, so you need to be carrying this to prevent those 2 things, which I guarantee you will happen eventually. It's like, are you a woman? You have a 97% chance of being raped this week. It's like, what? Where did you get that statistic from?
Are you a woman? Well, sorry to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you that if you're not carrying our product, you will be rape killed. It's like, jeez, dude. So it just seems totally like, I mean, let's just replay the beginning of this video. So somebody breaks into this guy's house, right? And he's on the ground. He's like, "Don't hurt me."
Yeah.
And how would having a stun gun on his iPhone have helped him in any way?
Let's reenact it.
Oh, hold on. I need to Instagram this moment. Let me just grab my phone.
Yeah.
Ah! It's like,
Yeah, totally. If he's like, give me your phone, you're not gonna be like, okay, hold on. Like,
yeah, hold on. Let me just
unlock it real
let me
quick.
just stun you real fast.
What are you doing?
If you don't have your phone, if you don't have your weapon in your hand when the event happens, like, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, I don't know. I just, and even if you do have a stun gun, it's like you're gonna lunge towards the guy and try to get him as he stabs you in your head. You know, like, Am I being too harsh? I don't
No,
know.
no, no.
I don't think so. I just think this seems like a silly idea based upon this guy's experience, and I don't think this would have helped him at all.
It's actually gigantic, you guys. Look at this. I didn't even realize. Is it too dark to see that?
I kind of see it.
I can't remember if focus is. Well, maybe I'll put in a
I'm going to
superimpose
build a
one.
product called the iShot.
This to me
It's
feels
gonna be
like
a shotgun that's been built into the case.
it looks like Batman's
Dude,
iPhone.
that thing looks like a freaking brick. Look how huge. It's like this
It's about
thick.
3 iPhones tall. It looks like not like a Mophie case is a little bit thicker, but this is like 3 times as thick. I don't know. It reminds me of some. It reminds me of that camera, you know, where it's like. It's maybe a cool idea in photo form, you know, and just like a nicely shot photo with a little maybe byline talking about what it can do. And then it gets people hyped about it that aren't thinking it through, and then they end up getting donations from it, you know, and then you're like,
Wait, can you scroll down?
when you actually get it, it's one of those products that sucks at home. What?
Right. Oh, so they actually have sold a bunch of the $100 ones.
Or maybe they're trying to tackle people that or get donations from people that have already experienced this kinds of assault before, you know? Like, well, if I only had that, I would have worked,
I guess
right?
that might be your market. Because,
It's
I mean,
like-
the inconvenience factor on this alone, no one is going to carry around an iPhone that's this thick. Nobody. Unless you have a giant Paris Hilton purse.
Unless you're Zach Morris.
Yeah, unless you're Zach Morris and it's actually an upgrade for you in phone thickness and size. Like, there's no way you're going to carry this thing around. Like, you couldn't even fit this thing in your front pocket without looking like a total D.
Total
Like, everyone would be
chode.
like, what is that in your pocket? Are you carrying a brick in your pocket? It's my iStun, guys.
like
Hold on,
this.
let me boot up my app. My iStun app.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, careful when you're taking it out.
Yeah.
You might get your
Dude,
eyeballs stunned.
wouldn't you be wary of even grabbing your phone and like quickly because of that?
Well, don't worry. It had the plastic thing over
yeah.
the top, which, by the way, is yet another thing that you're gonna have to adjust before you stun the guy.
Yeah.
This just seems absurd.
It doesn't do an app though, right? It's just
I don't think so.
I hope not.
Wouldn't that be funny if
Yeah,
you
you
had
have
to
to
like
load
boot
an
up an
app.
app and you're like iStun app?
it shows like a burglar on it. and you
Yeah,
press it.
yeah. You look some burglars, it loads. Oh, jeez.
Wait.
And then it's
for it.
like, are you about to be raped, murdered,
Yeah.
robbed? And you're like, raped.
Wait, let me find
How
out.
many volts would you like? There's like a sliding thing. You're gonna slide it, and then you have to hit go, and the electricity turns on.
Oh god.
My favorite part of that video was the second co-founder who comes in like 10 seconds before the video's over, and he's like, "I'm also a co-founder. I'm important.
Don't forget about
I'm important
me
too."
Yeah, I'm not just the lackey in the back. No, I thought that it was funny that it goes from it has like so it feels like what's that show? Shark Tank, where
Yeah.
they show you like the story beforehand, you know, so they'll want you to invest in it. It
Right.
looked just like that because it was like now we're starting our own business and we have it looked exactly like that. Have you seen those videos? Yeah. And then they have like he has shades on all of a sudden. I was like,
I'm gonna create the eye escape. It's
feel-
a jetpack that you wear every day, and when you're in danger, you can activate it and just fly away.
any of these like add-on criminal devices that I've seen, there used to be one when the MacBook Pro came out and it had a built-in eyesight, and one of the apps somebody wrote was something that would take a photo of the criminal and then send that to you, or send that to like some site or something like that, so you could see who stole your thing or whatever. I feel like a lot of them are just really like just super dumb, you know?
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of them. I don't know. Leave a comment if you think that this is a cool idea.
I'm sorry if we're being harsh. I really am. Like, I just don't see the point of this product.
Yeah. And those guys are watching, so
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
not everybody likes your thing, man. Sorry.
No. Although if I had one, I would stun Roberto on the camera.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Jackass will start using it. We'll get a lot. That's what it will be. It'll be a lot of people on YouTube shocking each other.
That's right. A like 12 and 13-year-olds. I think this would be this would be a much more viable product if it was just a slim case. That didn't add 1.5 pounds of batteries to your phone. It's like really.
Well, it probably has to because it has to have that kind of electric shock.
Yeah,
to it,
it obviously has to have a lot of power.
I don't know. I don't. Do you think that carrying a stun gun is like something like effective for preventing things?
Well, maybe it is. I
Ruth,
don't know.
would you carry a stun gun? She's not here.
She pieced out.
Oh.
Oh well.
Maybe you have to be a girl to want to carry one of these.
I don't know. You heard the facts. 97% of men get raped at least once a month.
That pepper spray is not going to do anything. How is that worse than this?
I think pepper spray is a lot better than a stun gun.
Yeah.
Because it has distance, it has range, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't need to get near your assailant
to
stun them. It's like if you a guy has a knife out, the last thing you want to do is get closer to the knife.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like it makes much more sense just to spray him like crazy and run. Not to mention, I think a pepper spray costs like $10.
Let's try those out on the next week's show.
Yeah, we're going to test both these out on Roberto's face on next week's show. Stay tuned.
Well,
let's do our last topic of the day.
Okay.
Should I film this part?
Yeah.
Probably.
This is going to be pretty cool, but I need you to do something for me. I need you to download this app. So, it's okay. We can talk while I show it to you. Or while I'll preface this. So, this app I just found out about, and I will say I actually stole it from another podcast, but I won't mention the name.
Don't even mention it. Oh, hey, look.
What?
New podcast
update.
Oh,
cool. Podcast update. If you guys want to get it,
woohoo!
Subscribe to
Significant improvements to performance.
Yeah, because it was kind of crappy for a while.
Wow.
I had to delete it because it wasn't working for me.
Okay.
But anyway, so this app is called Chirp, and if you're searching for it, it's an iOS app in the App Store. It has a yellow icon because there's a few other ones called Chirp. I think they're for Twitter, but this one is not Twitter. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to send...
Wait. Sorry. What
Chirp,
does it look like?
right there.
Oh, okay.
It's yellow.
Yep.
I think it's chirp.io if you want to type that in. And it allows you to send messages to other Chirp, people using Chirp, but it only uses audio to send the message. So it's really interesting. Like you can send a photograph or a text, and as long as the other Chirp app hears that audio waveform, it will read it. Okay. So I'll show you. Can you turn on your camera?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to load this up.
The battery on this camera is almost dead.
I know.
That is not what a boss would do.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
No, over here. Okay. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is Chirp. It's really easy. What you do is you hit the plus, and let's say I want to send you a photo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say add from camera roll. I'm going to send this WTF pillow. It's preparing it. Okay. So now turn on your Chirp app.
Mm-hmm. Still on?
Okay. And then it's supposed to be where it plays a unique audio waveform, and that is what it's going to read. So here we go. Can we put these side by side? Okay. Boom.
Whoa, weird.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's definitely unique.
Yeah. I don't know what the practical use of it is.
I'm not sure either.
But if you're watching at home, download the Chirp app on iOS, and we'll play it again, and you should be able to get this exact same
But is
image.
it? But that's my question. Is it sending?
No. It's going
data?
It's going up to that server. It's stored on their server. Okay. And that's what you just
I was like,
downloaded.
did you just is it like Bump where we're just using like a different mechanism to activate the transfer?
No, because the show that I saw it on, the guy was he was in another country and he hit it and they got it over just their speakers.
Really?
And then it came up on their phone and then they did the same thing over Skype and it went to the other guy.
That's actually pretty cool.
Is that cool?
It's a novel idea.
It is, and I'm trying to think. It's almost like QR code in that way, like audio QR code. So it's kind of like it's open enough to where you can think of what to do with it.
You can probably turn this off, right?
Yeah. So here at home, I'll give you a second, and I'm gonna play the audio right now. It came up again.
No.
Well, it definitely like hit. So you try it now. Try to send me something.
Okay.
So press the plus.
Add a note, add a link, add from camera roll.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'll put this up to the screen. So
I'm gonna send you this really cool picture of this dog.
okay, so this is what it looks like. It's just the audio waveform first.
So you ready?
Yeah.
Should I play it?
Yeah.
Whoops. How do I freaking play it?
The little yellow button.
I just did that.
Here it is downloading. There it is.
If you guys want to download the picture of the dog I took on my bike ride wearing the sunglasses, now you can.
It's cool, huh?
That is really cool, yeah.
So the thing is,
It's a great way to give stuff to people, like, over the internet. You know what I mean? Without having to send them a link or something.
but then they have to hear it. So how are you going to give it to them over the internet unless you're already communicating with
Well,
them?
they just put their phone up to their speaker.
Yeah, but can I send that audio link to somebody? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't send you an email that had that chirpio or chirp.
Oh, you could, but yeah, it would be a lot more difficult.
Like, I don't think there's a share button to where I can say, okay, that picture that you just sent me, I wanna send that to my friend, and then he just has to listen to it on his phone and it pops up. So it has sort of weird limitations. So I don't know. I guess if I mess with it more, maybe I'll think of a cool way.
But
to
it's
use
great
it.
for a podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we could have like the secret photo. Here, I'll do another photo.
Yeah, that is really cool.
We'll do a behind the scenes picture of what we have to see during the show. So yeah, this is a free app. This is just a picture of your place.
I have a wide-angle camera somewhere back there if you need it.
And this is a free app. It's chirp.io or it's just Chirp in the App Store, but it has a yellow icon if you need to find it. And here's our secret image. Sounds like R2D2. I don't know, R2.
I don't know, R2. Settle down. Oh, dude, I wasn't even listening. Like,
Oh,
I guess
that's
it's just always listening.
Yeah, it looks like it, because at the top there's a waveform. Cool.
Cool. That's it.
That's it, man.
Deleted that crappy image.
That
cool image. Yeah, I'm like, can I delete this app
Yeah.
now? I don't know if I would use this, but it's pretty cool.
It is one of those interesting apps.
Excellent. Well, hey, don't miss the Cultcast tomorrow. We have a great show planned if you guys are Cultcast listeners. If I wanted to find out more about you,
Yo.
I know that you have some pretty sexy tweets.
Yeah.
Where would I find out about those tweets?
Twitter.com.
Yeah, but what would the account be?
/Throwboy.
You know, you should chirp the link.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me enter the link real fast.
No, you can find me on, actually the best place is just about.me/Roberto Hoyos, ROBERTOHOIOS. That has all my stuff there. What about you?
Well, if you want to stun me with your new iPhone stun gun, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Erfon, ERFON. And if you're interested in Mike Tees, MIGHTTEES.com, and also Mike Tees on Twitter.
One other thing, Throwboy is running a t-shirt contest right now. If you guys like to win a Throwboy t-shirt, one of our new unreleased shirts, I'm not wearing it, but go to throwboy.tumblr.com. You have to like and reblog that photo, and you'll be entered to win. And we've already given away 4, and it's been going really well. So.
How many more are you gonna give away? I don't know why I can't say that.
We did 1 Facebook contest, 1 Instagram contest, and this is our last for Tumblr.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So everybody, you guys can
Free
subscribe
t-shirt.
to us on iTunes. We're just user-friendly, and our YouTube is user-friendly show.
Yep.
And like us on Facebook.
Please.
And that's it.
Catch you guys next time.
See ya. Later.